You know what? It's been a decent start to the season, and we're bringing you 2 league games today. Can that form continue? I hope so. Hello and welcome back to Up the Commoners. Now, since you were last here for that 5-1 win against Huntington Town, we've kind of played the rest of August, starting off with a 2-1 home win against Cockfosters in our first league game of the season. Luero getting on the score sheet, Charlie Finney scoring the winner in the 92nd minute. Love to see it. We went 1-0 down after 9 minutes, so that was actually a good little comeback there for us. We then got knocked out of the FA Cup to Holston Town. Charlie Finney again getting on the score sheet for us. Clarence Eamer scored 2 in a 2-2 away draw at Colney Heath. He scored another 2, this time at home to Wormley Rovers in a 2-1 win there. And in our last game, before we got you guys back in again, we played New Boys Aylesbury United and we lost with a 91st minute goal. So that was pretty gutting. That was away from home as well. So all in all, hasn't really been too bad. And you can kind of see how we have been lining up here. Everyone on this list from Hopkins down to Molyneux has played pretty much every game. We've settled on a back four of Tarpey, Carney, Buchanan and Scott. Remember, Buchanan and Scott, teenagers, 16 years old each. Finney and Banks doing well for us in the middle, to be fair. They're probably the standout performers, really. And Molyneux, I'm expecting more from him. New signing in the summer, 6.72. We're sticking with him. We are sticking with him. We have struggled with wingers in the past couple of seasons, trying to find players that are sort of performing consistently. We're going to stick with him. Kev Owusu has been in the side recently, but as you can see, he's kind of been in and out. He made a couple of sub-appearances in the FA Cup for us. But since replacing Luero in the starting lineup, he's done okay, really. So we'll probably continue with him for a little bit. And then we've got our striker situation. Clarence Eamer, as you can see, has been a little bit in and out, but he has scored 5 goals. He is our leading goal scorer at the moment. So he has nailed down his spot. I was a little bit concerned about whether or not he was going to be up to it again for another season. And James Shield has been partnering him recently and playing all the games, 2 goals and 2 assists in 6. Liam Smythe hasn't really been in the side much this season. He did start the season injured, so we're kind of just drip feeding him some minutes and getting him back into the game. 30 goals last season. Hasn't had the greatest of start. Hasn't scored yet. A 6.45 rating, so when he is starting, he's not really performing. But he kind of did this last season, didn't he? We called him out for having a bit of a slow start to the season, and he went on and scored 30. So, you know, I'm expecting him to be back in the first team and banging in the goals at some point. And then, as you can see, the rest of the squad is kind of those youngsters. Sam Berwick's been sort of involved on the bench a few times. The only person from last season that hasn't really, or the only two, are Luke Playford, the club captain, and Carcel Hilton. But, as we said, we're going for the title this year, and we're going to need the whole squad. We're just trying to keep this core together. Speaking about keeping the core together, there's a lot of wanted players on this list. We are getting a lot of bids for the likes of for Carney, for Buchanan. Eamer's had a few bids. Zach Whittle's had a couple as well. But also Berwick, Playford and Hilton, those two we just mentioned, both got a bit of interest in them. So we might have to give Playford and Hilton some game time at some point, just to keep them happy at the club so they're not putting on too much pressure, disrupting the changing room, that sort of thing. But yeah, that's kind of where we are. Our next game, as you can see, is against Crawley Green in 4 days. We'll bring you back for that, unless anything interesting happens. Now, this is exactly what I mean when I say we're getting in a lot of offers for players. So it's only been a few days since you were last here. And we've got 2 more offers for Zach Whittle. That, again, we're just going to turn them down. We want to keep this squad together. And Carcel Hilton has got 5 offers himself. So we'll turn that down. Financially, we're actually doing okay. We've got £151 available in the wage budget, which on my £20 a week rule could get us in quite a few players. We did try and go for a few in the summer, didn't work out. So we're kind of keeping that in reserve to use as and when we feel we need to. One thing that I forgot to show you actually, as part of our usual catch-up admin, was actually the league table. So we'll have a look at that and then we'll get into this game with Crawley Green. So, as you can see, after those first 4 results of the season in the league, we are currently in 6th place on 7 points. Not bad, not bad. The reason I probably forgot to tell you about the league table is I haven't really been looking at it. It's so early. We're just focusing on getting ourselves as many points on the board really as possible. Our two opponents today are Crawley Green, who are currently in 8th, so that'll be a fairly interesting game. They haven't lost a game so far this season. And we are going to be bringing you Potton, local rivals, who haven't won a game all season. So that's why I kind of picked these two games. Couple of teams to look out for, I suppose, are probably going to be Kings Langley. They're kind of doing what Harlow Town did in the early stages of last season. We saw from what happened with Harlow Town, we can't really let them get too far ahead of us. We finished 8 points behind them in the end as they dropped points towards the end of the season as their FA Vars run went on. But they only lost a couple of games in the league. So we're going to have to keep an eye on Kings Langley and try and keep pace with them, as they seem to be the early hotshots in this league. And then we've got Colney Heath, who we've already played, and Dunstable, who also haven't lost a game. Crawley Green and Colney Heath, who we've already played, that haven't lost a game. So, yeah. Maybe a couple of early favourites coming up, but we are right behind them. It's still very, very early. We've got to play Kings Langley twice, so I'm not worried about them too much, which is, again, like I say, why I probably haven't shown you the league table. But let's look at our team selection for this game against Crawley Green. As I kind of said, our back four is kind of settled. You can see Scott is starting to learn that fullback role quite well. He is a natural wing back. We are retraining him, as we said in the previous video. And I'm kind of happy for how he's getting on as a 16-year-old, a 6.72. I think that's only going to grow as he gets more game time in that position. Banks and Finney we're happy with. Rio Molyneux we're going to stick with. Striker-wise, I'm wondering whether we go back to our previous sort of season setup up front. Shields has done brilliantly, but Liam Smythe, we know how good this guy is. We know how many goals he scores, and he always seems to perform when on camera. So I'm going to give him another shot here. This is only his third start of the season, started the season injured, but we're going to put him back up front with his old mate, Clarence Emer, and see if they can nick a couple of goals for us today. Like we said, Crawley Green haven't lost a game so far this season, but we're at home, and you know I like to put a bit of pressure on the boys in the team talk, tell them that we expect the win, make use of the home advantage. What system are Crawley Green going to play this season, do you reckon? Exactly the same as us. This could be a very, very interesting matchup then. Okay, something's happened here. The screen's gone blank, and we've just seen Crawley Green have scored. Who said all the bugs in FM26 are gone? It looked like a knockdown by someone in the end. I'm kind of just describing a goal that I haven't seen. But we are in the second minute, and we are 1-0 down. Maybe we'll have a look after the game. It says it's an incredible goal, so maybe we'll have a look after the game and see if we can pick up that highlight from there. But yeah, I don't know what happened there. Here we go. We've got a highlight that we can actually see. It's the next highlight since that goal that we never saw. Crawley Green are on the attack here. Molyneux clears it to Emer, though. He's a bit isolated. He looks a little bit isolated, and he's gone wide to isolate himself more. But that's a good ball to Smythe. Smythe, first-time ball to Liam Banks. And we make it 1-1. Clarence Emer did really well there. That kind of move out wide seemed to draw some defenders with him. You see he's got like 2-3 around him. And that just gave Smythe and Banks enough space there to be able to combine. It's a great little touch by Smythe, that first time on the volley, just to cushion it down to Liam Banks, who, as he did last season, just continues to make those runs. The Liam Banks run past the strikers and gets himself on the score sheet. Here we go. Smythe wins a free kick. Liam Banks is going to take it. Left-footed, strikes it. Oh, Liam Banks. What a strike that is. And he's doing a little dance to celebrate. I want to see that angle that they give, that sort of Declan Rice angle from behind the goal. We're not going to see that. But look at that. Goalkeeper, absolutely helpless. This is the Liam Banks show. There's nothing he could do about that. And it's 2-1. We've pulled it back. We've turned it around. Here's Banks again. Out to Tarpey. Puts a ball into the box. Looking for Smythe. Headed away. Oh, Crawley Green going to counter us here. Kenoshi out on the right. Still going, Kenoshi. And he's put that... Was that a fairly tame effort? It didn't really look like he was going to be troubling the goalkeeper. Straight from the free kick, though, we're launching another attack. Driving forward in the rain. There's Molineux. Ball's cut out. Plays it back to Finney. Tarpey, Molineux. This is really good passage of play here. Tarpey into the box. And Crawley Green survive and look to counter. Here's Bacon, a name that I remember from last season. He caused us some problems last season. Kenoshi's gone a long way there, and it's another left-footed effort, and he's hit the side netting. It's going to be Tarpey with the throw. Finds Emu, finds Smythe in a decent position. Back to Molineux. Banks couldn't get on the end of that cross. I like the fact that our midfielders are so good at keeping the move going and winning them second balls. Owusu comes close there, and it's a good spell of pressure for Biggleswade United. Long ball forward from the Crawley Green goalkeeper, cut out by Tarpey, but we didn't win that second ball in midfield. Buchanan looked like he might have fouled the player there, but the referee's wave play on, and now we're on the attack. And it's Charlie Finney this time making the run from midfield. He's hit the post. Oh, dearie me. This is end-to-end stuff. He's hit the post. They've cleared, and now it looks like they're mounting an attack. They've slowed the pace down a little bit. They've gone backwards and given the ball away. Can we launch something now? This is like basketball. Smythe. Oh, his ball to Banks was cut out. And it's Crawley Green's turn to go again. And they do go again. Long through the goalkeeper. Scott wins his header. And ever since I've mentioned about winning the second balls in the midfield, we haven't done it yet. That was a good tackle from Banks, though, to win back possession. Molineux. And it comes to nothing. What a weird way to end that highlight. But as you can see, it's end-to-end at the moment. It's all a bit cagey. We've made it to half-time. They've made us sweat for it a little bit. I don't think we're going to make changes at half-time, although I am looking at a couple of performances here in terms of Tarpey, Scott, Finney, Owusu, that probably need to step it up a little bit. Buchanan, Banks and Smythe having a great game. So, yeah, I don't think we're going to make changes. We're just going to keep an eye on performances. And, yeah, I think we're going to do the old don't let the complacency creep in trick and see how that fares us in this second half. A couple of games into the start of the season, I was kind of thinking, I don't really know what my best 11 is. And I think we're kind of settling on it now, maybe with the exception of one or two positions. The wings, I still feel, are a problem for us. Not a problem because we've got good players. It's more of a problem because they're just not consistent. So we're constantly chopping and changing, just trying to find a bit of form with the wide men at the moment. Here is one of them, Owusu. And here's the other, Molineux. Linking up with Tarpey at right back. He's given Molineux something to run onto there. And Molineux didn't look too interested in chasing that down. Crawley Green go long again. Bacon plays through, joins. And Hopkins makes a fairly routine save there. I think one of the first subs we are probably going to make is Luero on for Owusu. We're just going to give it a few more minutes, I think. Crawley Green attacking again. Oh, they've come a long, long way there. A couple of block shots and a decent save by Hopkins in the end. I think Crawley Green are starting to get a bit of a foothold in this second half, which I don't really feel too comfortable with. So we are going to make that change that we spoke about. It is going to be Luero coming on for Owusu. And I think Tarpey is going to come off and Zach Whittle's going to come on also. That leaves us Quinlan and Shields to come on. Quinlan for Finney could be the next one, to be fair, in the next sort of few minutes if things don't start to look up a little bit here. Ema to Smythe. Smythe with a good effort from distance, just wide. And we see him do that a couple of times last season, that sort of like long-range finish. This could be a sign that Smythe is starting to find his form again. Hasn't scored, but he's on a 7.8 and has an assist. Has the referee given a penalty here? The referee has given a penalty. I don't know what it was for. She's given Corey Woodward a yellow card, and Smythe is going to get that chance to get himself on the score sheet for the first time this season, and it's saved. Okay. Don't panic. You're still having a good game. Would have been nice if that fell in, though, wouldn't it? Molyneux crosses. Luero heads it back, and Smythe's there again. He's desperate for that first goal of the season. He really is. Hopkins has it at his feet. That's a decent ball out to Scott. A lovely touch from Scott. We've got a lot of good left-footed players in this side now. Luero driving forward in the rain. Little trick. Gets past his man. Jerry Luero. Oh, it's just over the bar. Just over. I think we're going to have a nervy last 15 minutes here. Bacon is through again. Always saying his name. Finds joins in the box. Hint of an offside, maybe. I don't think that's going to be given. The goal does stand. I think we are going to make our final sub. And that final sub is going to be Ema coming off. And it's going to be the young lad Shields coming on. We're going to leave Smythe out there because he has been looking dangerous. He's got an assist. And he's having his better game so far for this start of the season. And he wins the ball there, Smythe. Shields plays it to Luero. Luero gets the ball into the box. Smythe keeps it alive. Back to Banks. It's a Liam Banks hat-trick. He is running the show today, Liam Banks. We've looked really lively since Luero's come on also. Smythe does so well there to keep that ball in play. And a fine Banks. That's Smythe's second assist. Banks' third goal. And the way this game is going, I think we're going to have to go defensive a little bit. I'll be more than happy to see us just run this clock down now. Not bothered about going and attacking. Just make sure we defend this. We're in the 90th minute. Crawley Green have the ball on the left. Zach Whittle, well out of position by the looks of it, but he's kind of recovered there. There's Joins who scored their second. That's a good tackle by Banks on the edge of the box. Willie Wright with the shot, and Hopkins holds it well. Remember, Crawley Green haven't lost a game in their first 4. So if we can win this is probably a good sign for the way our season could shape up here. We said at the start, although 4 games in, it's not a vital one. It's definitely going to be a good one for us to win and kind of test ourselves early. Oh, there's a bit of a mix-up there. Buchanan got his head on the ball. It kind of hit Banks on the back and fell to their striker. Yeah, Banks sort of turned to try and run away with the ball and misjudged it completely. And he's had such a good game up to this point. And the ball has fallen to Bacon, who slots it past Hopkins. And I think we're going to be sharing these points. We'll go attacking for the last few and just see if we can get something out of it. Although we are going straight up the other end from the kickoff. Luero to Banks. He's had a bit of a roller coaster game as Banks. Oh, and he's at the post and it falls to Smythe. What is this game? What is this game about? Oh my goodness. Talk about a roller coaster. Banks looked like he's going to get his 4th. It's come back off the post. And who else to react quickest in the box but Liam Smythe for his first goal of the season? I told you he loves it when the cameras are here. Oh dear. Just, I don't even have time to go defensive again. The game's over. That's got to be a candidate for game of the season already, hasn't it? Just look at that, the madness. They've equalised in the 93rd and we're thinking, all right, we'll take a point. And then we've gone and scored in the 94th. Oh, dearie me. Jesus. Nice work. That was good. I got excited there. I like that game. What is this about? So that dramatic late win sees us move up to second in the league. We have leapfrog Crawley Green, who have dropped down to 7th. And we are now only 2 points behind Kings Langley. They do have a game in hand. But our next game is going to be against Potton United in the league. It looks like they won their last game. Did they win? They did. They beat Oxy Jets 2-0 away from home. So they've got their first win of the season. We've inflicted the first defeat of the season for Crawley Green. But yeah, we'll bring you back for this Potton game. Okay, we've recovered now. We've calmed down a little bit, and it's probably a good time because we're going to be playing a fairly heated derby against Potton United after that incredible last-minute scenes against Crawley Green. I am actually going to make a couple of changes here. I don't think Tarpey had a great game, and Zach Whittle's got a lot of interest in him. So we're going to put Whittle out right back for this one, and we're going to bring Luero back into the fold for Kevawusu, mainly because we just look like such a better side in that Crawley Green game once we brought on Luero and he was causing problems. So that's going to be our starting lineup to go and face Potton. We're going to be keeping Ema and Smythe up front, and hopefully Smythe can get himself on the score sheet again and just kickstart his season off after that injury. If there's one thing we always say, you've got to win your derbies. Pick up where you left off last time out, and you got to win them. I think we're at home for this one. Are we at home? I believe we are. Yes, home advantage to Biggleswade United. Probably should have checked that before we selected the team. Potton with an early chance here, perhaps. Luero makes a great block, clears it to Ema. Molyneux, I can see what he's trying to do there. Ema wasn't on the same wavelength and wasn't spinning in behind. Here we go, Josh Brown. Oh, it's a player I know fairly well, and he's gone and put Potton ahead, the midfielder. He's a good player, Josh Brown, in real life, and he's been at Potton for a few years now. But that was fairly route one from them. It was a great touch by Freddie Moriarty just to slide Josh Brown in, the runner from midfield. And it's a decent finish from the lad, to be fair to him. But not a great start to this derby day from Biggleswade United. Potton on the attack again. Robinson involved again. Headed away by Whittle. And Carney will sweep up. Carney with a captain's armband today in the absence of Playford. And Smythe latches onto a knockdown from Ema. Smythe is through on goal. Oh, and it's a good save by Gwyn, the goalkeeper. He tips it behind for a corner that we're not going to see here. But Smythe is looking very, very lively these last two games. Luero gives the ball away. Wins it back. And Buchanan knocks it forward to Smythe, who is desperate for a goal and gets it. Scored the winner in the last game after missing a penalty and gets the equaliser in the derby here. And what a finish this is. It's a long ball forward by Kenton Buchanan and Smythe spins off his man. Wonderful touch. And we said in the last game that we've seen him score from distance a couple of times. What a finish that is from Liam Smythe. He's back. Was there ever any doubt that he was going to start scoring goals again? Potton with the ball in midfield here, trying to advance. Josh Brown puts in Tinker, who goes and scores, the left back. Molyneux just didn't track him at all there, really. He was heavily involved in the build-up for this, and yeah, it's just a ball inside Whittle. Tinker goes on the overlap, and it's a decent finish. Maybe you want your goalkeeper to do more. Try and go to ground there. It's going to be one of these days, I think. So we haven't seen a highlight since that Josh Tinker goal. Here we go. This is the first highlight since the goal. And it's a goal kick for Potton. They're playing that free in midfield. And they seem to be getting a fair bit of joy up against our two. Moriarty travelling a long way. Strikes from distance. Is off the post. I don't know if Hopkins got a hand to that as well. Important save if he did. And now the youngster Scott picks it up. And finds Ema. Oh, what? Surely that was worth seeing because Smythe was on the run. Ema turned. All he had to do was play him in. What happened at the end of that highlight, Football Manager? Well, hang about. Football Manager, what is going on here? I've just seen, and you can rewind it and pause, Biggleswade United 2, Potton United 2. Biggleswade United 1, Potton 2. Potton on the attack. Are we going to score in this highlight? Is Football Manager malfunctioning? Buchanan clears it. Ema gets on the end of it. He's only got Smythe up there with him. Surely Liam Banks, we're seeing into the future. Genuinely, you could go back and rewind it. Up here, about a minute ago, it popped up saying 2-2. We had a goal. We had a goal alert. Liam Banks scores his 4th of the episode in the last 2 games, and it's 2-2. But we already knew it was 2-2 because it told us. I can't for the life of me work out why people weren't happy with this Football Manager release. But there we go. It's a minor thing. We're not going to get negative about it. And we're going to tell them that, yeah, keep working hard and we can win this game. We're not going to make any subs at half-time today. We're just going to keep an eye on Loera and Whittle, who are the 2 that we brought into the starting lineup for this game and aren't particularly having great games. Molyneux as well, maybe. We're going to make a sub. It's going to be Loera off and it's going to be Owusu on. Whittle's kind of picked up a little bit. Carney's not having a great game either. So we could bring on Tarpey if Carney doesn't improve and move Whittle inside if we needed to. But that's the only change we're going to make for now. Well, we're going on to 70 minutes without another highlight now. And I think now is a good time to try and shake things up before this game goes too stale. Whittle is going to come off. Tarpey is going to come on. Maybe Ema's having a better game than Smythe. Finney's not having a great game. We want to keep Ema on the pitch if possible. Because he is playing well. So maybe we do a little Ema back into midfield for Finney. And maybe we bring Shields on up front. That could work. Yeah, I think that could work. Corner for Potton. Taken right-footed by their left-back. Headed away by Buchanan. Only as far as Kenny. Swings in across. Moriarty gets his head on it. And puts Potton 3-2 up. I said it's going to be one of those days. If we're going to get anything from this game, it's going to be late again. How can we change this up? Molyneux's having a stinker, essentially. We can bring Quinlan on for Molyneux, and I think we put Banks out wide and Owusu out on the right. I think that is how we play this now. Here we go. Liam Banks, left-footed corner. Owusu, here's Smythe, here's Quinlan. Good in there. Big goal from the youngster, Michael Quinlan. Only his 2nd goal for the club, I want to say. He scored his first in the first game of the season 2 in the FA Cup, and he's come off the bench to get what could be a very, very important goal in this derby. It's 3-3. There's about 6 minutes left of normal time. Surely we can't have more late drama, can we? Surely not. It's going to be one final demand more. 5 extra minutes on the clock. We've got a highlight here. It's a goal kick to Potton. They're playing out to that spare man in midfield. And Kenny's made a good run. It's a good save by Hopkins. Kenny got in behind Scott a little bit too easy there. Maybe Scott's legs are starting to go a little bit. Last minute of this game. And there we go. We're going to share the points to Potton, which we never like doing. But we're just going to have to accept that is our fate today. So looking forward to this next episode. When do I want to bring you back? Well, we've got Kings Langley, who are top of the league, and we've got AFC Welling, who are also doing pretty well in the league. It potentially means we miss the Vars game. AFC Welling have dropped off a little bit, so we're definitely going to bring you back for the Kings Langley game. And then it's just whether we do the one before or the one after that. So it'll either be AFC Welling or it'll be Winslow. Because we've got to play Aylesbury Vale in the Vars there. And like I say, I think we focused a lot on the Vars last season. This season's all about the league. So we'll play that game off camera. And I think we'll probably bring you back for either Winslow and Kings Langley or Kings Langley and AFC Welling. Well, guys, thank you so much for watching the latest episode of Up the Commoners. This is the start of season 2. There is a whole playlist of this whole series that you can go and watch now. And if you have liked it, please do give us a like. Please do give us a subscribe and drop us a comment and let us know how you think we're going to get on this season. You can also follow the club in real life using the social media links that are on the screen now. And until the next time, take care.